Hello guys and welcome to my first ever FIFA 15 video on my channel and my first ever FIFA 15 squad builder for you guys. So today I'm going to do an X-Man City squad builder featuring some very familiar faces as well as some controversial players along the way as well. So let's first start off the squad, and we have our goalkeeper who is Schmeichel, and he joined Manchester City at age just 15 years old, and he's made his debut for the club in August 2007 against West Ham, and he featured in the next match after that as well against Manchester United. And in that season in particular, he featured in Man City's first 8 games of the season, which included the West Ham and Manchester United, which I just mentioned as well. So it's a great start to him because I think he was only 19 years old, or he could be 20. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, guys. I think he was 19 years old at the time, maybe 20. I'll say 20. I'll go for 20. Yeah, he was 20, so he's my age when he first played for Manchester City's first team, that is. Oh, I also forgot to mention he was at City for 7 years during his time as well, and he was loaned up to 5 clubs during that time in those 7 years, including Coventry City and Cardiff City and many more as well. And yeah, that's Schmeichel for you guys. So for right back, we have Schmeichel, of course. And he didn't really have a good spell at Manchester City, to be honest with you. He was only there for 1 year, and during that time he had injury problems as well, so he barely made any appearances for Manchester City. And he also had a competition of Michael Richards and Zabaleta as well. At that time I believe Richards was injured, so as well as him at most of the season, so he gave the chance him more of a chance. But even when he was fit, he had Zabaleta performing so well on the pitch, but he barely got a look in, which was a shame. So eventually, after a year, he probably thought, I'm not going to get much chance here in Manchester City, so he left and he joined AS Roma. So he went back to the Serie A from Inter because he joined from Inter. So it's a shame because he was really doing well for Inter, really well, and then he joined Manchester City. Everyone thought, wow, he's going to do really well for Premier League, moving to the next level. But he never got a look in because of Zabaleta and then Michael Richards in between that time as well when he was fit and injured, etc. So it's a shame because he's a great guy, and look, I still rate him as a right back. That goal he scored in the World Cup was I'll never forget that goal. Just the way he scored it from such a tight angle. I haven't seen any other footballer score that kind of goal from that angle ever. So he's got talent, man. He's got talent. I really do think he's got talent. Anyways, let's move on to our centre back now, our first one, and we have Jerome Boateng. Now he only joined Manchester City for £10 million from Hamburg for a year, and he also suffered a weird injury during the German when he was in international break with the German national team when he played against Denmark, and that was on the plane, not on the field, on the plane. He collided with the drinks trolley and he somehow tore his tendon on his knee for doing that. I can't believe he did it. It's one of the weirdest injuries, But he had an accident, I guess, and he somehow tore his tendon on his knee. That's a weird one anyway. And for our next centre back now, we have Kolo Touré, whatever you want to pronounce it. Now Touré signed for Manchester City in July 2009 for £14 million, and that's a lot if you think about it for Kolo Touré. But obviously at that time it was good, so that's why he signed for that much. Even Manchester City made some other signings they've paid way over the odds for, crap now, but obviously you can sell it for any player again. Somehow Mark Hughes made him a captain for quite some time, so he was appointed captain from Mark Hughes, which was the manager at the time when he signed for the club. Scored his first goal for the club early on in September 2009 against Fulham, so that was literally 2 months after he signed for the club. And he scored his first goal as a defender. It's pretty good. So I'm amazed that that's that, because usually defenders don't score their first goal for quite a few months after they've joined the club. Look at Filipe Luis, for example. He joined the club back in August and he's already scored that amazing free kick the other day. But anyway, that's going way off topic. So let's move on to our left back now, and we have Guido. Now he joined City from Real Sociedad in 2007 for £1.5 million, and unfortunately during his time at Manchester City he featured in fewer games every season, so therefore affecting his confidence and motivation, and eventually Mancini had to let him go in 2010, and it's a shame because if he was given more games he might have turned out to be a more promising player. But you know what, he's still got a few appearances in for Manchester City. So now let's move on to our midfield now. We first have Joey Barton, of course. Now a lot of controversial stuff happened during his time at Manchester City. He was there for quite a long time as well, after handling many transfer requests, and then obviously being rejected, and the club still insisting to keep him as a player because he had good potential and he was a good player, but yet he wanted to leave at times. But they had to go for a lot of stuff in the press and stuff like that to keep him at the club. So I do hail their determination actually to keep him there, because he has so many bad things, so many red cards, incidents with the players as well. Like his main incident was with Osman Dabo, which happened in training and eventually led to him being arrested by the police and questioned as well, and eventually he was appeared in court over the incident and was fined many thousands of pounds. I think £25,000. Was also fined by the FA as well for misconduct and probably violence as well. So a lot of stuff this guy went through, as well as bans by the club. The club banned him a few times as well. So yeah, you know, he had a bad spell in a way for Manchester City, but you know what, he's matured as a player now. And look, you barely hear about Joey Barton doing anything wrong now, so he's really good. He's mature as an adult, so he's young. You know, he will make mistakes, so. But it's a shame because he did do well for City regardless. He really did do well. Anyway, let's move on to our next centre mid, and we have Gareth Barry. Now he joined Aston Villa. He joined from Aston Villa, Manchester City, for £12 million. So many Aston Villa fans said, "Oh, the reason why he joined there is because of Champions League and money and stuff like that." He actually wrote a statement protesting that, saying he wasn't for that. You know, he said, "Oh, thank you for many memories and stuff like that in Aston Villa." But I believe it is for the money and of course Champions League, because at that time Manchester City were really doing well and getting an upcoming club as well as they are now. So obviously joining from Aston Villa is a privilege. So I don't blame him for leaving the club. And he scored a total of 8 goals in 175 appearances for City before joining Everton. And now let's move on to the last midfielder for the team, and we have Stephen Ireland. And he joined Man City's youth team, aged just 15 years old, and he made his debut against Everton, and he followed in the next 7 matches after that, so he did quite well in his first debut for the team, which is great for a player like him. And in total he scored 23 goals in 176 appearances for Manchester City. And now let's move on to our attackers now. So he first started with Sean Phillips as our right forward, and he joined Manchester City's youth team, aged 17 years old, and unfortunately he didn't get many chances in the first team, as due to Paul Dickoff being in the main team. So when he was injured, he covered Paul Dickoff's place, but as soon as he was back fit again, it was similar to Malcolm's situation. You know, he just got barely looked into after Paul Dickoff came back, so it's a shame. So he barely featured for Manchester City really, but he did go back to Manchester City after his spell at Chelsea. But obviously his main spell as a coming player was really at Chelsea, because he was signed for £21 million for Chelsea. And then he was there for quite a long time, and then from then he built up his profile and was featured in the first team a lot and scored a lot of goals and contributed a lot of assists as well in particular, which led to him being put back in Manchester City for quite some time, now being placed in QPR of course. And now for our main striker, we have the legend card, Robbie Fowler. Now he didn't have that much greater spell at Manchester City compared to Liverpool, but he still did quite well at Manchester City in my opinion. He drove for £3 million, which is nothing, you know, a lot back in those days, but nothing now. And the reason why I said he didn't do well at Man City, because we signed in January, and during the rest of the season he only scored 2 goals from January till July, or till May, sorry. And then the following season he only made 9 full game starts, 90-minute matches, because of his fitness issues. He had really big fitness issues, so it did affect his performances, you know, obviously playing for less time. And he only scored 27 goals in 91 appearances during his time at Man City, so it wasn't the best of, you know, spells considering how well he did previously at Liverpool before he joined there. And finally for our last player now, we have Abdoun. Now no one knows this guy because he only made 1 appearance for Manchester City, and he joined in 2007 on loan, so obviously he did a poor spell, so Man City decided not to take his loan as a permanent deal, and he went back. I barely know this guy, but he's quite good. I've played a few games with his team, and he's quite good in Ultimate Team. He's quite fast, so I'll give him that. But no one knows him. You probably wouldn't even heard this guy yourself. But anyway, let me know if you have. You might have heard of him. I don't know. But anyway, let's move on to our subs bench now, and we have, of course, Balotelli, and he's no introduction as to who he is. We all know who he is. And Man City, he made so many mistakes again, so many controversial, like. Let's not forget the bib incident, the assistant in the bib, the fireworks at his house outside the pitch, also why always me of course during this goal celebrating against Man United. But you know what, he was a good player, he did do well for Man City, you know, so I'll give him that, he did do well. And he scored 30 goals in 80 appearances during his time at Manchester City before going to AC Milan, sorry that's it, yeah, before he went to AC Milan and then joined Liverpool now, which he isn't doing well at Liverpool at all. What's happened to him, you know, what's happened to him, I don't know. Anyway, let's move on to the next substitute, and we have, let me get to him, Carlos Tevez. Again, the great player, but look what happened to him. You know, he was doing really well for Manchester City. Even Man United is doing well. That's where, well, West Ham is where he really made a name for himself. Then Man United did well, Manchester City did well, but then that match in Munich in September 2011 it was, and you know, he just refused to play, and from then You know, if he didn't play for 6, he was banned. Well, not banned, but he didn't play for 6 months. The club suspended him playing for that time, and then he came on as Chelsea, got the assist for Nasri's goal, and then from then onwards he, you know, scored goals again. You know, so I think he was fined for that. What happened to him in Munich as well, I'm not sure. But after March 2012, after that incident, he was back in form again. You know, started scoring goals and playing well again, as he should be doing. So I don't know what happened during that time, September and February. You don't know what happened, why he refused to play. You know, because he handed the transfer request, which got rejected, and then he's saying it's because of family issues, this and that. Oh man, so many issues. He just wanted to leave basically, and eventually did leave, obviously, but he didn't get his wish straight away. So it's a shame he had to go to that lengths to get what he wanted. Let's move on to our last substitute now, and we have Daniel Sturridge. Now, during Manchester City, he joined their youth team, aged 13 years old, and he scored his first goal for the first team back in 2008 against Sheffield United. And then from then onwards, he didn't make many appearances. He wasn't really looked into again. And he made 32 appearances, total 32 appearances during his time at Manchester City, scoring just 6 goals before joining Chelsea, which is where again he barely played really until last stages, and then Liverpool made a move, and then look, they've really transformed him. I know Liverpool as a whole aren't doing well, but I really do rate Daniel Sturridge. I wish he'd stayed at Chelsea, but I understand why, you know, because they were just hogging Torres, just giving him all the opportunities, and he was doing nothing. Yet this guy, I know if they played him every match, he would be delivering way more goals at Chelsea as compared to what he did then. Well, let me know what you think in the comments about that, because I think I'm really confident about what I said there. But anyway, that's our last player of the team now. So that's the team in full, guys. I really hope you've enjoyed this video. Sorry for going off topic a few times, because I've had to revise each player's history and the dates and the months when they joined, the fees and stuff like that. Yeah, I got that in the end. So yeah, I really hope you've enjoyed this, my first ever FIFA 15 video, as well as the first ever X Squad builder on this series. So yeah, let's get into the first game now. Okay, here's his team. It looks like a nice, very nice team. He's gone for a French team, but then he's gone for like a Dutch sort of, you know, side on the right there. I don't know what that's about. Gosh, guys, I haven't played FIFA in so long, you know, like, oh, it feels so weird. Great skill there from Maicon. What's he doing? Am I seriously going to try it in Maicon? Oh my god, no way! No way! No way that is going! I can't believe I'm winning. You saw, I did not expect that to go in. I thought, let's just try it in Maicon, and he just goes in. What was the keeper doing? I'm sorry, that keeper is not good. That keeper is not good. I'm sorry, I gotta watch the replays. I usually skip replays, but I gotta watch this one. It was swerving, but Ruffier, what are you doing? What are you doing, mate? Alright, I'll skip it now. I can't believe that. I just genuinely can't believe that. Just as I was saying, oh, I haven't played FIFA in so long, I'm gonna be crap, and then he just does that for me. Oh man, I don't know what he's doing now. I think he's given up already, guys. 15 minutes, oh my god, 15 minutes in. Might have to just chip that. There we go. He's given up. What is he doing? Might as well chip that, innit? Because he's just so close to the keeper. I don't know, Ruffier, I know not to try him because he's not doing that well for this guy. Like, he didn't even attempt to save that second one. He didn't even attempt to save the first, let's be honest. But yeah, defending on this game is hard, so I can see why the simplest of skills can just get past the people. Because look, I can't even defend this guy now. Go on, Fowler. Yes! What a goal, what a goal. 3-0. Is that Fowler? I don't even know if that was Fowler or not. Yeah, it was Fowler. Brilliant, brilliant shot. Oh, what a ball. Where was my defenders? Oh, I should have made the most of that. What a waste. Go on, Fowler. You're through, man. You're through. Chip him. Oh, man. Too weak. Oh, man. That was an open goal, but I put too much pressure. Oh, I put too much power on there. Should have been 4-0. Oh, would you look at that? His wage quit in the first half, or end of the first half. So there's the game done. 3-0, game set match. Man of the match was no one in my team. I don't get that. How was no one in my team man of the match? Does not make sense anyway. So yeah, that's the end of today's video, guys. I really hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, then please leave a like. It really does help me out. Let me know what I can improve on as well down below in the comments. I'd be appreciated. And I hope you did enjoy the video. Take care.